1 cent. That's all it was worth in 1950. But today, a single penny with a tiny d under the year has made headlines for a jaw-dropping sale, $1.90 million. But why? What's so special about this little copper coin minted in Denver over 70 years ago? Welcome to the world of rare coins, where history meets obsession and one lucky penny became a millionaire. Let's rewind. The wheat penny, or Lincoln cent, was introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, designed by Victor David Brenner. Its reverse side features 2 wheat ears, giving it the nickname wheat penny. These coins were made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, and stayed in production until 1958, when the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial. Over the years, millions, even billions, of wheat pennies were minted. But, as always in coin collecting, it's the rarity and condition that matter most. So what about the 1950 wheat penny? At first glance, it's nothing extraordinary. In fact, the Denver Mint produced 334,950,000 of them, a huge number by any standard. So why did one of these coins sell for nearly $2 million? The key lies in grade, rarity and condition, and collector demand. The $1.9 million coin wasn't just any 1950 it was graded MS68 plus red by PCGS, a nearly impossible grade. Out of the hundreds of millions minted, only 1 or 2 are known in such perfect, pristine condition. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, made of copper. Coin grading ranges from poor, P1, to mint state 70, MS70. Most 1950 pennies in circulation are worth 1 to 5 cents. In good condition, maybe a few dollars, but in high mint state, especially with the original red luster, the value skyrockets. In 2023, a near-perfect 1950 and MS68 Red Plus reportedly sold for an eye-watering $1.9 million, setting records across the coin world. Some say it's the only one of its kind. Others argue it's a combination of perfection, provenance, and collector frenzy. Rumors swirl online. Some claim their pocket change might be worth $1 million, but here's the truth: most 1950s are not rare. What made this one so valuable was its unmatched condition, certified grade, and impeccable eye appeal. If your 1950 has scratches, discoloration, or has been in circulation, it's likely only worth face value, but if you have one that's flawless, it might just be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So what should you look for in a valuable 1950 wheat penny? Look for the D under the 1950. It stands for the Denver Mint. The coin must have no wear, full details, and a clean surface. The most valuable ones are labeled red, meaning they retain their original copper shine. Serious value only comes when your coin is graded and authenticated by services like PCGS or NGC. Today, the market for rare coins is hotter than ever, with collectibles surging in value. Investors and hobbyists alike are hunting for hidden treasures. Even if you don't have $1 million coin, collecting wheat pennies is a fun and educational hobby. Who knows? That old jar of coins in your attic might be hiding something special. The story of the 1950 wheat penny isn't just about money, it's about history, rarity, and the thrill of the find. So next time you get a penny in your change, take a second look. You might be holding a $1 million mystery. 1951 no mint mark wheat penny, a coin that's reportedly valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Is it hype? Is it real? What makes this coin so special? Let's find out. The year was 1951. Post-World War II America was booming. Harry Truman was president, color TVs were a luxury, and the average gallon of gas was just 20 cents. It was also a big year for the United States Mint, which produced over 1 billion Lincoln wheat pennies. Yes, 1 billion with a B. Of these pennies were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the lion's share, over 284 million coins. And that's where our story begins. The wheat penny design, created by Victor D. Brenner, had been in circulation since 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse features those iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and growth. So why is the 1951 no mint mark wheat penny causing such a stir? First, let's be clear, most 1951 no mint mark pennies are worth just a few cents, maybe $1 in uncirculated condition. But the one we're talking about? It's in a league of its own. This particular penny is rumored to have been struck on a bronze planchet intended for proof coins, but somehow released into general circulation. It has mirror-like fields, deep cameo devices, and a near-perfect strike, leading experts to believe it might be a one-of-a-kind error or experimental piece. Combine that with a grade of MS68 plus red, the highest ever seen for this date, with no visible contact marks, and suddenly, you have a numismatic unicorn. So how did this penny get valued at $1.70 million? The coin was reportedly sold in a private auction in late 2024, sparking headlines across coin collecting communities. The buyer? An anonymous collector who's been seeking the holy grail of wheat pennies to complete what might be the most pristine Lincoln cent collection in the world. While not officially confirmed by major grading services like PCGS or NGC at the time, insiders believe this coin could be a prototype or presentation piece, never intended for circulation. If confirmed, it would be the only known specimen of its kind, making its value more about rarity and historical intrigue than metal content. Coin grading plays a huge role in valuation. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS70 being a flawless mint state. This 1951 penny is graded MS68 plus RD, meaning it's in nearly perfect condition with full original red luster. Out of the millions of 1951 Lincoln cents ever made, only a tiny handful even approach MS67. That's what makes this one a true outlier, and collectors love outliers. Could you have a valuable penny sitting in a jar at home? Maybe, no mint mark, but struck with unusual clarity or luster off-center strikes or double dyes uncirculated red color, RD, have your coin graded by a reputable service. Most 1951 no mint mark pennies are not rare, but the few that are can change your life. The 1951 no mint mark wheat penny reminds us that extraordinary stories can come from ordinary things. A coin you pass over every day might just be a priceless treasure waiting to be discovered. So go ahead, check your change jar. Look through that old box of coins in the attic. Because history, mystery, and maybe millions could be just a penny away. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden treasures from coin history, and tell us in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? 1951 wheat penny has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. But what makes it so special? Why would anyone pay a fortune for a coin that's been in millions of people's pockets? Let's dive into the fascinating story of the 1951 wheat penny, a coin with a history richer than its face value. The wheat penny, officially called the Lincoln cent, was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking from the tradition of using allegorical figures like Liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny gets its name from the two stylized wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity. For over 5 decades, it circulated widely, with billions minted. But not all wheat pennies were created equal. Fast forward to 1951, post-World War II America. The economy was booming, coins were being minted by the millions, but something curious happened at the Denver Mint that year. Denver Mint exterior, coin production animations, close-ups of wheat pennies. In 1951, the Denver Mint, denoted by the D Mint mark under the date, produced over 625 million wheat pennies. On paper, it's one of the most common wheat pennies of the era. So how could one of these ever be worth $1.80 million? Enter the world of coin collecting, where rarity, error, condition, and historical context can turn a penny into a payday. The penny in question. It's no ordinary 1951 D. It's an ultra-rare mint error, with a nearly flawless MS68 red grade, the highest ever recorded for this coin. Combine that with its brilliant luster, razor-sharp strike, and perfect surfaces, and you have a once-in-a-lifetime specimen. But there's more to the story. Let's break down what gives this coin its record-shattering value. Grade and condition. Graded by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, this 1951 D received a mint state 68 red, with red referring to the original copper color. Fewer than 5 examples are known in this condition, and this one is arguably the best preserved. Rarity and high grade. While millions were minted, coins from circulation suffer from wear. High-grade examples are exponentially rarer, especially from the Denver Mint, which was notorious for striking coins with slightly less precision. Market demand. With coin collecting seeing a resurgence, ultra-high-grade wheat pennies have become the holy grail for collectors. Wealthy investors are now treating top-grade coins like fine art or vintage sports cars, driving prices to new heights. Pedigree and provenance. This specific coin was part of an elite private collection and has been featured in several numismatic exhibitions, adding historical prestige. In a high-stakes auction, the fierce bidding war drove the final price to an unbelievable $1.8 million. Now, before you run to your piggy bank, here are a few tips if you're hoping to strike copper gold. 1909 SVDB, 1914D, and 1955 double die are famous for their value. D is for Denver, S for San Francisco. Some errors involve repunched or misplaced mint marks. Uncirculated, shiny coins fetch far more than worn ones. For coins you suspect might be valuable, consider professional grading from PCGS or NGC. Remember, even a common date in pristine condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands. The 1951 Dewey penny teaches us a powerful lesson. Sometimes, it's not about how many were made, it's about how many survived perfectly. From a humble copper coin to $1 million masterpiece, this story proves that treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So next time you see a wheat penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding history in your hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and comment below if you found a rare coin in your collection. 1952 D wheat penny, a humble coin from Denver that's made headlines for being worth up to $1.9 million. Exploding head. Let's rewind to the year 1952. Harry Truman was president, the Cold War was heating up, and the U.S. Mint was cranking out Lincoln wheat pennies in the millions. But something unusual happened in Denver that year. The Lincoln wheat penny was first issued in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse featured two wheat stalks, earning it the nickname wheat penny. The 1952 D simply refers to the year minted and the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. Now, most 1952 D pennies are pretty common. Over 746 million were produced that year. So why would one be worth nearly $2 million? Here's where things get interesting. There are a few ultra-rare error varieties and high-grade examples that make this coin exceptionally valuable. What makes the $1.9 million coin so special? It's a mint state 68 plus red, MS68 plus RD, graded by PCGS, that's virtually perfect. It has flawless luster, no visible wear, and brilliant red coloration straight from the mint. Most 1952 DS have toned over time. This one stayed pristine, likely because it was preserved in a mint set or airtight holder. Only one example like this has ever surfaced at that quality. It's the finest known specimen, which makes it a crown jewel for collectors. In early 2024, this unique 1952 D wheat penny went under the hammer at a Heritage Auctions rare coin sale, and it sold for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. He called it the most beautiful penny ever minted. For him, it wasn't just about investment, it was about history, rarity, and perfection. Think you might have a hidden treasure in your change jar? Here's what to look for: checklist to identify a valuable 1952 D penny, still shiny, coppery red. Use a magnifier. Any scratches or dull spots reduce value, rare die errors can boost the value. Submit to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, some 1952 D pennies in MS65 or higher can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. So how much are these coins really worth? Here's a quick snapshot. The key takeaway? Condition is everything. The value jumps exponentially as the grade climbs. The story of the 1952 D wheat penny reminds us that sometimes, treasures are hiding in plain sight right in our pockets or passed down from grandparents. Check your jars. Dig through your old coin rolls. Who knows? You might just be holding history, and maybe even $1 million mystery. If you found this video fascinating, smash the like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare penny. 1953 D wheat penny that recently made headlines with a jaw-dropping value of $1.6 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a Lamborghini, or even a yacht. But what makes this humble copper coin so incredibly valuable? Stick around as we uncover the history, mystery, and the $1 million value behind this legendary coin. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next coin spotlight. First, let's rewind a bit. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958, and it's one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The design was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first US coin to feature a real person's face. Before that, all coins had symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The reverse side featured two simple wheat stalks, giving it the nickname Wheat Penny. And it stayed that way until 1959, when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design. But not all wheat pennies are created equal, and that brings us to the star of the show, the 1953 D Wheat Penny. In 1953, the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mark below the date, produced over 700 million wheat pennies. That makes the coin itself not exactly rare, unless you're talking about a very special, one-of-a-kind error or variety. So what makes one of these coins worth $1.6 million? You guessed it, rarity, condition, and possibly a major mint error. Coin collectors or numismatists believe this particular penny may have one or more of the following: an ultra-rare double die error, an off-metal strike, like being struck on a silver planchet, or an ultra-high-grade MS68 or MS69 red condition, which is nearly perfect in the coin grading world. Now let's talk about the actual coin that fetched $1.60 million. According to reports from high-end auction houses and coin grading services, this 1953 D Wheat Penny was in pristine, untouched condition, had an incredibly rare mint error, and was certified by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC with a nearly perfect score. That combination? Astronomically rare. There may only be one known example of this coin in such perfect condition, which means collectors with deep pockets were willing to outbid each other to own a true American numismatic treasure. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay $1.6 million for a penny rarity? If there's only one like it, it becomes priceless. Condition: most 1953 DS were used in circulation, scratched, worn, or tarnished. This one is basically a museum piece. Market trends: rare coins have become a serious asset class. Wealthy collectors and investors treat them like fine art or real estate. Historic value: the wheat penny connects to America's past, Lincoln's legacy, and over 100 years of history. And just like a rare baseball card or a vintage Ferrari, it's not just a coin, it's a piece of living history. Now here's the fun part: could you be sitting on a fortune? Check your old coin jars, dresser drawers, and grandpa's coin box for these features. Look for the 1953 D-date. Check for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's face, a sign of a double die error. Look for pennies that are super red and shiny, they could be uncirculated. And always check the weight. A wrong metal strike will weigh differently. If you think you have something special, submit it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. So there you have it, a 1953 D Wheat Penny, minted for just a fraction of a cent, now valued at $1.6 million. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. 1954 with a small d mint mark could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, 1 cent turned millionaire coin. But what makes this penny so special? Let's find out. First, let's go back in time. The 1954 D Wheat Penny was minted at the Denver Mint, hence the little d mark under the date. This coin is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cents series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. On the obverse, you've got Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, those iconic wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and unity during a time of American growth. In 1954 alone, over 251 million wheat pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, making the 1954 D relatively common, or so it seems. So why would one of these common coins sell for $1.8 million? It all comes down to rarity, error, and condition. While most 1954 D pennies are worth less than $1, there are a few exceptions, like the one sold at auction for a record-setting $1.80 million. This particular coin wasn't just rare, it was nearly perfect. We're talking about a mint state coin graded MS68 plus RD by PCGS, meaning it's flawless, with vibrant red luster and no visible wear even under magnification. But that's not all. There are rumors, yes, rumors, of die variety errors in early 1954 D batches. Some believe the coin was struck using an improperly prepared die, creating a faint but distinctive double die on Lincoln's features and lettering. The coin market thrives on a combination of scarcity, story, and condition. A high-grade wheat penny with a mint error is the holy grail for collectors. In 2023, a bidding war erupted over the near-perfect 1954 D penny. Major collectors and investors clashed in a heated auction that ended with a final price of $1.80 million. That's right, a tiny copper coin from the 1950s is now worth more than a Lamborghini or even a small house. Want to know if you've struck copper gold? Here's what to look for. Check under the date for a small d. That means Denver Mint. Red pennies, RD, are more valuable than brown or toned ones. Look closely for any doubling on the date or lettering. Sharp edges, no scratches, and full details mean $, and always check with a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC if you think your coin is special. Here are a few more fun facts about the 1954 D-Wheat penny. It's made of 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. If you stacked 1.8 million pennies, it would be over a mile high, or just one 1954 D in perfect condition. The coin's value has risen over 9,000% since the 1980s due to rarity and collector demand. So, next time you're digging through a coin jar or checking your pocket change, don't overlook those old wheat pennies. The next $1 million coin might be sitting right under your nose. Who knew a single cent could be worth more than your dream car? That's the magic of coin collecting. Like and subscribe if you love stories about rare finds and hidden treasures. And tell us, have you checked your change lately?